at Holistic Harmony aim to help people restore the balance of mind, body, and spirit in the modern world by using ancient medicine. This episode is sponsored by Five Branches University, renowned as one of the world's premier TCM schools, offering unparalleled professional education in traditional Chinese medicine and integrative medicine, both within the United States and around the globe.
It all happened last week, right? Last week, even few weeks before, we always hang out like after our class in the beautiful Shine cafe.
Yeah, that place is special.
Right.
I think last week we were talking and you were telling me that you were doing some stuff to start help the school, and
we were sitting.
You had an idea,
we were sitting next to the fireplace on the sofa.
Sitting by the fireplace, and we could hear the ocean.
Right. Yeah. And I think I always like it's like my most like happiest time in my week because I feel like we can talk about different stuff, like for example what we learn in the school, and sometimes we talk about our the case we were facing in our clinic, and some of the topic I think we can also benefit to other people. And I think we all came from the high-tech background, right? So I think during that time, especially for me, I work in high-tech for around 20 years, and I feel like a lot of my colleagues, they have a lot of problems, especially the health problems, some injury or something, and even not only body but also mentally. And I want to help them. So that's why I studied the Chinese medicine. I hope I can not only help myself but also help my friends. And I think a lot of people, they work in the high tech or in the modern world, they have a lot of health issues, and a lot of those issues, they can be found much earlier. Especially in the Chinese medicine, a lot of the signal, that the pain in the body, that's the signal to ourselves to tell us to aware of this way before it's getting worse.
Did you have an experience of yourself feeling signals from your body or your spirit that were like calling you away from the tech world and to pursue this new path?
Because I like, for me, because I was in I work in the software, and I think especially right now there's a lot of layoff in the high tech, especially in the software, and I feel like I'm always like try to catch up with the latest technology. And sometimes I feel I'm getting so like frustrated or getting tired, like always chasing the new technology. And for me, sometimes I need to like working in the high tech, I need to go attending a lot of meetings and the meeting after the meetings, so I don't have much time to take a rest. And in the evening, we have a lot of meeting with with India, with Asia. So that's also mess up my like daily routine, my daily schedule. And at some point, sometimes I feel like I'm so like tired. And then sometimes like a depression, especially when I go through the layoff. And I feel like because working the high tech on the on the surface, like I need to hide those like weak points, hiding in my heart. So I feel when I do that, my body and my spirit and my mind, they are disconnected. And I feel my body is giving me a lot of signals. For example, sometimes I feel the shoulder pain, or I feel the hip joint pain. That's the signal my body is telling me to get up, to take a walk. But after meetings, I don't have those time just to get up or take a walk. Yeah, and even in the clinic right now, we see a lot of patients. They have this kind of problems. They have a chronic because they sit for too long. Yeah, and that's why they are going to the ancient medicine like Chinese medicine to look for help. Yeah. How about you?
Oh, yes, lots of signals. Well, Hugo, we've talked about that. We kind of have a similar background in having had careers and work
Right.
just in the tech world. And yeah, I mean, I think I just remember feeling like the expectation there or in that world of the pace of how we had to be basically on all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And just really stressful, like needed to be performing, needed to be available 24/7, just the hours that you're working, and then just mentally having to be so present for that and just engaged and worried, kind of. At least I remember experiencing worry and stress that I wasn't doing enough. And so yeah, I think over time I started to get those little hints of things just being out of balance and having to work so many hours. I noticed that like my relationships started to suffer and I wasn't connecting with the people that I wanted to, and then I wasn't able to prioritize taking care of my body.
Right.
And then wasn't sleeping well. And then I think I also just wasn't happy or satisfied or finding meaning in the work that I was doing there.
Right.
And so that led to depression. And I remember having just also a lot of, like my stomach would be upset and I would just feel a lot of like tension and stress in my body, and similar to you, having aches and pains and in places that I shouldn't have aches and pains, but mostly just feeling a lot of tension and stress. And I think also emotionally suppressing maybe a lot of my true feelings about the way that my life was going and the work that I was doing, and just not being happy.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it took a while to get to a place of realizing, okay, this is not how I want to be feeling. And I had never really even heard of acupuncture or Chinese medicine growing up. And it wasn't until about a year or two living in California that it started to just circle my awareness that this was a thing that existed. And once I hit kind of a turning point of wanting to prioritize my body and my spirit and myself and my health, I started to just explore all the different modalities that are out there, and eventually led me to have acupuncture. And I just remember at that time I had started to do yoga, and I had started to just explore my emotional side a little more, allowing myself to express more freely. And I just realized I almost intuitively knew that I needed some support, even physically, to allow my body to release tension and like express more freely and relax. And I remember my first acupuncture treatment, I just walked out feeling like I felt like back to myself.
Wow.
In a way that I didn't know that was possible. Like I felt more me. I felt like I had tapped into or accessed this like relaxed, free easefulness. And it just, in that moment it felt like I feel more Paige. I feel more like me.
Nice.
I feel more relaxed. I don't know what just happened, but I know it feels really good. And I think, it took me a while after that first experience to make the career shift of like, finding my way here to pursue this as a profession. But I will always just remember that turning.
I think I had a similar like experience. There's the first like acupuncture treatment. Yeah, I feel the same thing. I'm connected to myself. Yeah, and I feel like relaxed. Yeah.
And I guess I'll go into how I found this as a profession, just in case we want to include that later. But yeah, once I started to realize that I was unhappy and depressed and really just like burnt out and feeling a call for something more for myself, and realizing that what I was doing wasn't aligned anymore just with my personal values and what I cared about in the world. And I really took a lot of time to think about how I want to be of service in the world. And I was always interested in healthcare or just supporting well-being. And at this time, I started to become aware of what I actually cared about was supporting holistic well-being. So like really looking at a whole person, like the integration of mind, body, spirit. And as I started to kind of explore that world, it just became so clear that Chinese medicine holds thousands of years of wisdom, tradition, profound practices, and like depth, and also things that are just really practical and work. Like this medicine works, and there's also so much mystery and depth to the possibilities of how we can work with these practices to support our mind, body, and spirit, and help us to all feel more like ourselves.
Yeah. So that's why our channel name.
Leading into
holistic harmony. Yeah.
What does that name mean for you, Hugo?
I think just like you say, I think what we learn in the Chinese medicine is like our body, our human beings, is a microcosm of the universe, and then like you said, the mind and the body and the spirit, they work as one, and it's all balanced. So for me, that's a holistic harmony. And I think a lot of, just I remember like this episode, especially this episode, the topic is we want to talk about why do people get sick, right? And for me, and also what we learn in the Chinese medicine is a lot of times our mind, body, and spirit, they are not balanced. And in Chinese medicine, we have a different kind of theory. We have a yin and yang, and qi and blood, and also the 5 elements. So this theory is also, for example, if you're young, yin and yang, they are not balanced, then in the clinic you will have a lot of like different kind of symptoms. And the 5 elements also the same thing. And also the 5 elements, they can associate with different organs or different functions in your bodies. And and all the treatment like acupuncture, the herbs, you just want let the body to balance the energy. And once the energy balance, your body can have the ability to heal itself. So as an acupuncturist, so basically we just help the patient to heal themselves. So basically they can find the balance within their body and can connect to the nature, connect to the universe, and the patient can heal themselves.
I love what you just said, and I love how actually simple that is. And that our bodies, I always think about like our bodies are constantly wanting to be in harmony and wanting to be in balance. And if you think about all the mechanisms we have where our body is taking care of that for us. And there are also times where we need a little help to help ourselves balance. And sometimes that can be, and I love this about Chinese medicine, is that it kind of, there's so many options of how to help us be in balance. Even understanding that we are nature, and how we can align and balance with the seasons and the weather and the current environment that we're living in, and understanding how that impacts what choices we might make about what food we're going to eat.
Right, right.
Or what exercise I'm going to do that day. How much rest I'm getting. And just all those little choices that we make every day. And then when we are having, an imbalance that expresses itself maybe more loudly or more louder, in the form of, being sick or a cough or an illness. It's like then we have these tools to, like the herbal medicines, to help our bodies get rid of whatever sickness that we have, or help give us more strength to fight off the illness that we have, or just more simply rebalance our bodies. Yeah. And then the needles, I just see them as like these powerful little messengers of we're giving direction to the body and just helping support it in what it already knows how to do. It already knows what it needs to do, but sometimes it needs a little extra intervention to rebalance.
And I feel that, like you mentioned about the needle, a lot of times I feel like when I get an acupuncture treatment, it's like awaken my body and my body, mind and soul. And then another thing just came into my mind is I feel like right now in the Western world, a lot of people, they're talking about awareness, observation. And I feel like you mentioned about the tools, right? Like in the traditional, right now, a lot of people in the spiritual world, when we talk about the awareness, it's like we aware of our mind, where the mind goes. But I feel in the Chinese medicine theory, you have different kind of tools. Like this awareness, you can aware your body and mind and the soul. Like aware the yin and yang in your body, how does it balance, right? And besides that, they can apply to many diagnostic tools. Like you can feel your own pulse, you can look at your tongue, and you can see how is the balance in your body. Are you more like a yang deficiency, yin deficiency, or what kind of and you can also get the treatment. So for me, it's like I feel my own pulse like every day, every moment when I get hungry. And like before, I do a lot of like a meditation. Like I just meditate. I sit there and to observe my mind. But now I can not only to observe my mind, I can observe my body. How does my body going? Which direction is going? And unlike the modern Western medicine, it relies on a lot of different tools or the lab. But the Chinese medicine is so simple but very powerful. You can do the very complex diagnostic. Just feel your pulse, feel your tongue, or just by looking at your face.
The self-awareness piece.
Self-awareness.
Or learning that we can. What that brings up for me or reminds me of is just the empowerment that we hold over our own health and well-being, and that only we really have the ability to tune into ourselves in a certain way and to listen and notice and observe in ways that no one else can. Of course, trained doctors can also observe things, right? Like we're learning that in school of how to work with someone and to identify these imbalances and work with them. But exactly what you're saying. It's like even alongside of that, I hope to also share in such a way that the people that we're working with or more people can have that awareness for themselves and start to make those really simple choices day to day. And I'm always so struck by how it really is the little things. Like the small little things that end up being the big things. Right. Like our lifestyle. Like when are we waking up? What's our environment like? What are we having to eat and drink for breakfast that morning? And
Yeah.
What mentally, how are we speaking to ourselves?
Yeah.
Are we doing things that we enjoy, that bring us happiness and delight, and
Right. Yeah.
moving our bodies?
Yeah. That's why in our intake form we have all those questions like how's your energy, how's your appetite,
Yeah.
how's your mood, and I think the reason is all those questions they are very associated with our health. My body and spirit.
I remember also the first time that I saw a Chinese medicine practitioner, I was also struck by how many questions she asked, and more specifically just the types of questions. Like I had never seen a doctor who would ask that many detailed questions, and the way she asked, and even some of the things she asked even afterwards, I felt like it provoked then something within me to think about something differently, or to like reflect on my own health or things that I hadn't thought of. And I just loved that too, because it created an awareness that I didn't know, and then it like allowed me to, I guess, take some responsibility or accountability, or just have that awareness of something that I wouldn't have if she had not asked those questions.
Right. Yeah.
So the questions are a lot, but I also, it's so interesting to see what we can evoke and discover from them.
Yeah, like what time do you usually go sleep? What time do you get up?
Yeah, sometimes the best then is like, I mean, I know I've had this situation, where you're answering the questions and you're like, oh man, I didn't realize until you just asked me these 5 questions, like, no wonder I'm not feeling the best this week. Like I haven't gone to bed at a good time, or I'm not sleeping well, or I didn't eat well for a few days. And like, you kind of just like, allows you to drop into like, okay, well, I can work with this. Like,
and I did before I learned the Chinese medicine, I didn't know like what time you go to sleep is that's important. That before I just care about how many hours or something. But the way we learn in the Chinese medicine is all those like we have a clock, right?
Yeah,
we have a clock in our Chinese medicine system, and like a different time it go to different like functions in your body, right? Like 11 to 1. There's 11 p.m. to 1 p.m. There's like you should go sleep before those time, because there's how your body function in that different system. So the time go to bed is very important.
It is. I was actually just looking at that before this, and it was, I think, before, because 11 o'clock is the liver starts the liver time, and the liver has such a big job of just circulating and cleansing kind of everything that we take in a day. And so going to bed before 11 like gives our liver enough time to do its job and kind of like cleanse our body so that we wake up feeling refreshed. So when you think about it like that, it's like it makes sense.
All the small things, it makes sense. But I think I like is Chinese medicine is more like a preventive, like a medicine. We notice this kind of like a small like issues or problems way before like your body have a very big problems. And you can not only like, for example, you can do the qigong or do the massage to yourself, and you can help a lot. Not rely on the medicine to get the treatment. You can basically to heal yourself.
It's kind of like we're our own doctors.
We are our own doctors. And
it's kind of like it's a lifestyle
medicine. It's a lifestyle.
Like I think especially being in school and learning all these things, you start to just embody and incorporate these in how you live. and then it's like we're maintaining, going back to balance or harmony. It's like we're kind of doing what we can each day to maintain that harmony and prevent the imbalances. And I'm thinking of also, there's like so many metaphors, beautiful metaphors or statements in Chinese medicine about health, but there was one, just the concept like in nature of like a moving water never stagnates. It's like one of them, or you know, if there is no flow, there is no pain. And if there is pain, then there is lack of flow. And that is such a big statement that kind of, I feel like, encapsulates the idea where we want just everything in our bodies, our blood, our fluids, our emotions, everything to be moving and circulating. And when something gets blocked or stopped or stagnated or isn't moving the way that it's supposed to, that's when we have pain or we might become sick. And so whatever we can do to kind of like keep that, keep the flow.
Keep the flow.
Keep the flow.
Keep the flow. Like as you know, like a lot of times when we see the patient in the clinic, I see a lot of qi and blood stagnation or deficiency.
Should we talk about what qi and blood are, Nico?
I think you just covered a little bit.
Let's talk. Well, I just feel like for
the
just to cover
general,
the basis. We can talk about our understanding of qi and blood and yin and yang.
And for qi, because I grew up in Taiwan, and in the Taiwanese or Chinese culture, we talk a lot about qi. But honest, I didn't know what qi. Because it's so so general, or it happened. I hear that all day, but I haven't like really think about what's qi. A lot of Chinese people, they know qi. They heard of qi, but they don't know what's qi.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's too it happened, heard all the times, so we didn't really think deeply about what's qi. But after I learned the Chinese medicine, I feel qi is just like a nature, just like a river. It's a movement. Like when you see the river, this the movement. It's a qi, and inside our body, the movement to move our blood or our the energy in our body. The movement is a qi. And the blood, just like the river, is the water, right? So our body, like different, for example, the liver or the heart, every organs, every functions in our body, need the blood to nurture the function of different organs. So if we just talk about the qi deficiency, it means like your body doesn't have enough energy to move the blood. Just like the river, if the river is moved so slow, it doesn't have the momentum to push the water, and sometimes the water will just stuck there, right? And that's a qi deficiency. And the blood deficiency is just like when you look at the river, when the river, like the summer in California, we don't have enough water in the river, right? So if you don't have enough blood in your body, then you don't have enough of nutrition to neutralize different parts in your body. So a lot of times we see the people having the symptoms. Normally we see a lot of like qi and blood stagnation or deficiency in the clinic. And I think that's because in the modern world, people, they sit in office or sit on the chair for so long, they don't get up like every 1 hour to move. And sometimes it also depends on the diet, the food we eat. So That's why a lot of people in the modern world, they have a qi and blood deficiency or stagnation.
Yeah, and it's interesting when there can be both
Yeah.
that are happening, kind of what you're saying. It's like the combination of things are stagnated.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's not enough actual physical movement of body or even emotionally. And then there's also not enough nourishment or vital nutrition that is actually like building up our blood and energy in such a way that it can flow freely, or there's too much excess of excess nutrition or excess food, excess emotion, things that build up that then that aren't necessarily good things for the body, or it's just too much. And then that creates more stagnation. And then that can also make us feel tired and feel like we're kind of qi deficient in a way because we're not circulating things as much. I know. I always thought of qi as, well, when I was learning about it, I guess in school, it was always presented as this idea that's difficult to translate directly into language that English can really like fully capture. But I think also like what you're saying, and growing up in Taiwan, like it was just known, like you kind of just knew what it was. You weren't trying to break it down. But I have always thought of it, I guess, as like the easiest way for me to think about it is it's a form of vital energy. Like it's kind of the energy that is keeping your life force. It's keeping your body move, like the movement of things circulating in your body, similar to what you said of the movement of the river. And I also think it's kind of in this place where it's like in between being like matter. So it's not quite like substance, right? But it's kind of this invisible force that is directing everything around us and our bodies, and it's even like directing nature and the universe.
You made me think of the Star Wars. May the force be with you. May the chi be with you.
That's so true.
It's so TCM.
That could be our new quote for the
May
the chi be with you. And I've kind of blood. I associate with deep nourishment and just a rich, nurturing substance in your body. And if you think about even like when you are in Chinese medicine diagnosed as having a deficiency of blood, there's something, it manifests as like in your mind, right? Like where you have trouble sleeping. I think the saying is like the blood rules the Shen. The blood houses the mind. So like when you are nourished and fully and nurtured, and your body is full of blood, like you feel that warmth, and you're able to sleep calmly at night, and your mind is settled and you're calm, and but when you don't have enough of that nourishment or that deficiency of blood, then you're maybe having a little more anxiety, or it's difficult to sleep at night because your mind just can't like settle and calm in your body. So those are just things I think about, I guess, with qi and blood, and how in terms of, or in the context of getting sick, it's like we need qi, and in Chinese medicine there's different types of qi. And specifically, we talk about the concept of wei qi, which is kind of our, like the layer of qi between us and the external world. And so there's lots of things floating out there. Probably the easiest example is, cold season, or when people around you are sick and there's actual like bacteria or pathogens or just things in the air. And we want to think about, like, do we have enough chi, wei chi, protective energy, like energy force to protect us from those external, what we call them pathogens, evils coming in and causing an imbalance in our body. But if our chi is really strong, then we're not impacted by those evil forces.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I think about that too, and being sick, of like wanting to make sure I have strong chi.
Yeah. And also like he also talked about where is the chi came from. For example, we have like a qin qi, the breathing qi. Then we have the yin qi, right? The qi came from your food.
Yes.
Yeah. Then combine together, and then how wei qi get created. Yeah. So I think it's so amazing. Yeah.
It really is. I love it. Let's talk about yin and yang.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I feel like, I mean, yin and yang.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We can talk about yin and yang. I like that topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It feels. I actually feel intimidated to talk about yin and yang because it feels like it's so profound.
Yeah.
It literally represents the universe.
Right. Yeah.
It's like encapsulates everything.
Did you watch Star Wars?
No, but
no.
Tell me.
Because I think in the recent episode, they for example, let me see. I think that the story is like the Jedi. The Jedi, like they are. I think they are represent like the more like the young. Yeah. And at one point, the Jedi want to remove all the dark side.
Okay.
So basically, they want to remove all the dark energy from the universe. Yeah. But in the end, the Jedi Master, they realize the yin and yang is like coexist in the universe. So you could not be totally yang or totally yin. Yeah. The universe need the yin and yang just to balance. Yeah. And I think they also can apply to the everything in the universe. Yeah. Everything have a yang and have a yin. If your yang is too strong, then the yin start to create it. So for my experience is like because I practice kung fu, and I feel like I'm, especially when I was young, I feel like I'm so young, I'm so energy. I feel always have a lot of energy. And before I thought, I think that's a good sign before I learned the TCM. But I feel like at one point, sometimes I feel, how to say, I was like I'm full of energy, but at one point, like for example, I'm too excited for few days or something, I will get like tired. Yeah. And then I also feel about my pulse. My pulse is like so like strong, yeah, and too very like viral. But after I learned the TCM, I feel like I need to like balance my energy. And at one point, we just talk about the diet, and we think, what kind of food do I eat or drink? And I realized I drink too much coffee. Before I just drink 2 or like not 2, probably 3 or 4 cups coffee or more than that every day. Yeah, and I started to realize like, and I think in the Chinese medicine we covered it a little bit, because the energy, it needs some substance to be created. Yeah. And the yang qi, yang qi and the yin yi, the yin substance, they are related. Yeah. So it's like you are burning a wood, right? You have the fire, but at one point you keep burning the fire. You could have too much yang qi. end up you don't have enough like a substance, you don't have enough like a yin yi to balance it out, and at some point the body will start to have some like symptoms or have some problems.
Yeah. Well, I think going back to your Star Wars reference,
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like they just explained
They
everything
just
we
explained.
needed to
Yeah, they just
talk about.
explained. Yeah, they just explained. I think the George Lucas must be very like he
Yeah,
must learn the yin and yang or Chinese medicine.
that's right. Yeah, I just think of yin and yang as, well, it represents like balance and harmony, as what we've just said. Like,
Yeah.
and that everything has a yin and a
Yin and
yang
yang.
aspect, or like our world is composed of, our universe is composed of yin and yang, and that's what makes it complete and full. And like the yin in nature is like the earth, and then the yang is the heavens, or you know, yang is like heat and movement, and yin is more like the cooling nature and stillness. And so we can think about, or the sun being yang and the moon being yin. Like, it's helped me just to think about what are examples of how these show up just in our world. And I also think about just, there's something we learned in Chinese medicine, I remember, is just that everything, yin and yang, is in a relationship.
Yeah.
And that it only is, something can only be yin because yang exists. And yang, you know, it's all relative.
Yeah,
like
relative.
something, if you have like all just darkness, it's only dark because it's dark compared to the light.
Yeah.
And so it's, to me, that also just represents the holistic philosophy of how we view the body,
Right.
mind, spirit, and just well-being in Chinese medicine, because nothing is in isolation, and everything is in relationship with something else. And so we're kind of constantly looking at within our body what is in relationship to another thing and how can we work with like that whole system of the body to create balance and harmony, versus like saying, I'm just going to pick this one thing, one symptom, and I'm just going to try to like just work on that, but you're not actually considering the relationship of that with every other thing in the body. So yeah. Because yin and yang makes me think of that too.
You also remind me another like Asian medicine is like yoga. When I doing the yoga, when I read the Yoga Sutra, like the classic book of the yoga, there's a sentence that mentioned about all the yoga pose is to prepare for the meditation. So, for example, so I'm thinking, why does it mention about that? Why you move all those different poses like all the time, just to prepare, just to sit or lay down to meditate? And then I start to think about this just like a yin and yang, right? Yeah, you could not just do the meditate. Yeah, I feel a lot of times like people just meditate. They have I mean, for my example, if I don't like if I just meditate, but if I have too much energy in my body, it would take me a lot of time to calm my mind, because my mind or my body is full of energy. Yeah, but if I do a lot of that stretching, a lot of yoga pause before I do the meditate, I can like get the flow, get the yang release. Yeah, and at some point, then I can start to doing the yang just as a meditate. Yeah.
Sounds like a beautiful balanced practice.
Yeah. To balance yin and yang.
Yeah, I remember when I was working in tech, and I had started to see my acupuncturist, and I think, as we talked about earlier, like that job and that career was required, at least at the time for me. I was very much in a yang energy, like a lot of movement, a lot of activity, kind of just like high level stress, not taking a lot of time to rest, not slowing down, I think, is the overarching. And I remember she said to me, because I was describing what exercises I was doing, and I think at the time I was doing more like high intensity cardio and strength and, you know, basically yang style workouts.
Right.
And she said something like, well, why don't you try yoga, a more yin style yoga, or a slower form of yoga, or after you go on a run, lie down on your back for 10 minutes and actually let your body quiet and absorb all the activity you had. But it was actually such a profound experience for me to think about, oh, of course, a lot of my day is spent in this yang energy. So actually what I need to balance that in my exercise or my physical movement is more yin style activities. And that's actually going to allow my body to like rest and relax and integrate and create more harmony kind of in my day and in my body. And it's kind of the exact same concept that you were just talking about, of recognizing that we need both.
Yeah, we need both.
Because if I would have been, as I was, continued on doing the yang style exercise and just having my day-to-day life patterning with my job and everything else was very yang oriented, that was only going to lead me to the path of some form of disease.
Right. Yeah. I have a friend that he just asked me last week. He said, I think he do those kind of like the high, very intensive yoga, like those power yoga or something. There's a sweat a lot.
Yeah.
But he said after like 2 hours yoga exercise, he feel his organ is dry. That's how he described to me. Organ is so dry.
I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but yes.
Yeah. And, I understand what does
you're
it
like,
mean.
Yeah.
You might have indigestion. You might try a different style of yoga. Yeah. That's why I think a lot of people in the modern world, they go to gym, right? They sweat a lot, but they feel tired. They feel exhausted after taking this exercise. Yeah. And then right now we can use the yin and yang theory to explain that's why.
Yeah, I'm actually, as we're talking about this, it's like, it really is, even though at the beginning I was thinking, oh, this is intimidating to talk about because it's so complex, but it actually can be really simplified or even really used as a framework of like, if you have the goal or the orientation of wanting to live in harmony or like have a balanced life, you can really think about in your day and how are you, okay, what am I doing that's like more yin activity or yin things, and what's more yang, and how do I feel that I need more of. And it could be different in different times of life, because I think we also go through seasons of life. Now we can really get into it. I'm like, we got the season, the yin seasons actually environmentally or in our world. And then I always think about the just internal seasons we go through in our life of like, you might be in a more yin phase of your life for whatever reason, where you are needing to be more introverted and quiet and have more time in your emotions and your feelings and your just beingness. And then there are other times of life that you're moving through a season where you have a little bit more of that yang, outward focused activity doing energy.
Right.
And it just ebbs and flows beautifully.
Yeah, that's in our future episode, 24 seasons.
Yeah, like there's a lot.
Yeah. But I just think about the yin and yang. because the yang, we have a real yang and the fake yang. How to say? There's a yang. One of the yang is like they really have a lot of yang. Yeah, but the other one is because of you have an yin deficiency. You don't have enough yin to hold the yang. Yeah, that's why yang is too strong because you don't have enough yin. So in our treatment, it's like we need to fix the yin first.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you were describing, like the fire. Like the fire is burning, but there's no substance underneath to kind of like ground the fire or to like keep the fire burning.
Yeah.
You know, in like a sustained way.
Yeah.
But which is kind of the yin. Like the yin is that earth substance, fluid.
Yeah. That's why I feel like, especially in the high tech, a lot of people, engineers, they have a lot of like indeficiency but strong yang symptoms. Yeah, because they don't like we eat a lot, like, for example, fries or some like many like French fries or something. Yeah, those stuff they can drain your yin. Yeah, but you will have very strong yang. So at one point you will feel, oh, I'm full of energy, something. Yeah, but basically you are like burning your substance. Yeah, burning your yin.
I kind of think about that with coffee a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of, like while there's times where I'm sure we can have a future episode of talking about food and herbs and medicine and how coffee can also be very medicinal and like helpful. But then I remember someone describing it as like, you know, it's like you drink coffee and it gives you energy, but it's actually like draining your, it's like fake energy. Yeah. Where it's actually just like burning up things in your body that you don't want to burn up. You're like stealing from your body to create energy.
Yeah. I feel that too. So I'm still love coffee, so I limit myself to just one cup.
Well, and again, like everything in balance, and then also it's like as long as you're you know that coffee has that quality. So now, like, at least I feel this way. I feel in this empowerment of now that I understand these qualities of herbs and the balance and foods. Now I can make sure that I'm supporting my body in other ways. To have the yin and the substance and have the energy, so the coffee doesn't have quite as dramatic of an impact, or it's balanced out.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking, before I was thinking, oh, why some coffee shop in Bay Area sometimes they offer this water. I was thinking why. I was thinking, does it like they want to like remove the coffee stain in the mouth or something? And then or they try to nurture the balance the yin. But because they know after drinking coffee you need to like have enough water to neutralize your yin.
Okay, this is kind of a question to think about, or just like we talk about getting the reasons why we get sick at a high level is that there's some imbalance happening in the body. But then it's like, well, why, if you're doing all the things and you're trying to take care of yourself, like why do we still get sick? Or like is there something beneficial that's happening also when we get sick? If that makes sense. Or like we're human, like we're gonna get sick, I guess. And what do we do? We can do our best to prevent getting sick. But I feel like also inevitably we will get sick. And so how do we like move through that?
I think for me, for me, getting sick is I take it as the gift.
There we go.
Or the signal the universe is giving me. Especially, for example, when I had a COVID, I mean, I think after COVID and during those one or 2 weeks, I really try to observe my mind. Maybe part of the reason because I studied the TCM. I want to see all the symptoms Yeah, but I feel like it's like I think everybody get sick before, but I think when you get sick, you want to take a rest, right? So I think for me, it's one of the signal the universe is calling me to just to relax, just to lay down, yeah, and then depends on where's the sickness, or then I can observe those part, yeah, and sometimes I think that's too spiritual. Sometimes I'll connect to my higher self, very connect to myself, and that's it. Connect to myself, and I will ask the universe, ask myself, what's the purpose of having for me to getting sick? Does it have any like a message for me? Yeah, and a lot of time the message just tell me to slow down, to relax. Yeah, yeah. So I think people get sick, but I think this depends on how do you interpret the sickness. Yeah, just don't take, oh, I'm so weak, I'm so tired, I'm so sick. But I think the human universe has the reason behind that. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that too.
Mm.
And by the way, this is a holistic,
Okay.
which includes mind, body, spirit. So we can get as spiritual as I think we both can go there. So
I love the channel name.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way about the sickness. I also view as it is my body's sign of it being able to respond, and it's actually it is doing its job and rebalancing itself by giving me these symptoms and having these things happen, so that I can rest, I can slow down, I can allow my body to heal. And I also, when I had COVID last year, it was, actually such a profound experience of not having been that sick in a long time. And it really did, for me, like, I just kept thinking of, okay, what am I being taught here? And what am I being shown here? And it was so much just about surrender.
Right, surrender.
Yeah. Surrender, and also letting myself kind of lose control. In the sense of, when you're sick, you're vulnerable.
Right, yeah.
And you have no choice but to be soft and tender and let people help you and just be in that vulnerable, tender space where maybe you, at least for me, maybe it's sometimes you don't always allow yourself to go there. And then when you're sick, you're kind of just forced to. And I read something actually recently about how the greatest forms of healing happen when we allow ourselves to lose control.
Right.
Because sometimes we need that for then our bodies to reorganize, get rid of things that we no longer need, and then reorganize at a higher level, a higher frequency, or come back at a greater state of health. And I feel like after I had COVID, it was like I had let go of, my body just released so much. And I just cried and cried. Like, it was like a physical, but also just emotional release.
Right.
And after that, I felt like healthier than I felt in a long time, or in a way that I didn't know that I needed, where I felt like free and lighter, and something had been like purged out of me. And I felt more relaxed. Like, just having gone through that humbling experience just makes you a little, at least for me, it made me a little softer and a little more humble and in flow and surrendered to my life. Yeah.
And this is the holistic harmony. We can talk more about the spiritual.
Yes.
So I think like we talk about the ascension, right? Ascension. Yeah. Ascension. I think when human we are ascension, we want to enter the fifth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we got to like for example, just like if we would need to upgrade a car or something. If we want to upgrade, we need to get rid of the bad, the old component, right? And I think getting sick, just like you mentioned, there's a chance for us to release a lot of the old thought, all the energy. Yeah, so we get rid of those like old component in the third dimension for us to have the like unconditional love to enter the fifth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel the unconditional love is just like what you mentioned. When we get sick, we accept the love from other people, right? So we can understand what's a love. We can feel what's love when we get sick. So when we when we recover, then we have an ability. Then we also have a willing to help other people. Yeah, there's also, I think that the message was the sickness giving us. Yeah, so we understand what's love, and we can also share the love to other people.
I think we can just end on that.
Right.
What more is there other than love?
Love, yeah.
I'm so glad that you said that. I'm so grateful that you brought that here, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You're able to feel that love for yourself, but more so it opens you to receiving from other people and more compassion.
More compassion.
I think the compassion piece of
Yeah, I feel the energy. I think we are in the fifth dimension now.
Yeah, we're definitely on the fifth dimension. Well, when you were talking about the ascension and the dimension thing, I was kind of laughing about, like, in my head of, sometimes the universe or your higher self is like, they try to give you the lessons or the clues or the things in a graceful, nice way. But sometimes, we're human, we have egos, we don't fully surrender or listen. And so sometimes they do have to give us a more direct message that's like, slow down, sit down, like, here's what you need to look at differently in your life, here are changes you need to make, here's what you need to get rid of,
right,
so that you can become the next level. I don't even like to say that, but just so you can become a greater radiance of love, unconditional love. I think you really nailed it with that. It's like, how are we, that's what we're doing, right? Like, healing is, at least from my perspective, just becoming a fuller expression of our soul's essence, which is love.
And not only that, because we talk about a lot like balance my body and the spirit, and I feel a lot of my friends, they are very spiritual, like they are very sensitive about the energy, but they have all kinds of symptoms in their body because the mind, body, and spirit, they are not balanced. Maybe they have a very strong spirit, or like they have they work a lot on the spirit and mind. But we have a body in the third dimension. We still need to take care of our body. Like, for example, if you have the knee pain or the hip joint pain, how do you meditate all day, right? And I see some people, they say, oh, well, I have all kind of sickness, sore, the pain in my body, but I can still sit and meditate. But then I look, the practice they are doing is they dissociate their body. They ignore their body. They just pretending they don't have a body, just focus on their mind. But end up their body and their mind and spirit, they are dissociate. So they only feel good when they are taking the meditation. But in their daily life, they could not work for so long. They are fatigued because they still have a body and they are not take good care of their body. And I think that's why I love Chinese medicine, because it's a holistic harmony then we balance these three parts, mind, body, and the spirit.
Yes. And I think in order to be an expression of our soul's greatest love, it isn't just come from being in that space in your mind or meditating about being in that. It's like, it's a full experience. And think about how much more powerful and impactful that is, to be in a vessel that is clear and balanced and supportive of the energy that you want to bring.
We need to have a strong body that we can store all the because the energy is within our body, right?
That's true. Like we are still in the physical dimension where we need our body to be this like sacred vessel and supportive.
And I remember in the Buddhism theory, they say it's very it's not easy to get a human body. I think that's true.
I was just thinking that, where I'm like, we are, if you believe, as I know you and I both do, of our souls being eternal and having lives in many other dimensions, I guess all to say is our souls have chosen to have an experience in a human body.
Right.
And we get to have this physicality to us, which is hard because we have aches and pains and we have to like care for this physical thing, body, but it's like such an opportunity that we have to be here and have this experience and experience touch and sensation and being sick, moving our body, using our muscles, contact with other people. Like it's a unique part of being human.
Right.
And that's why one of the many reasons I like Chinese medicine too, or love it, is that it for me so far has been the most comprehensive system or way of being that takes into account and weights equally the body, the spiritual aspect, the mind aspect, and really seeks to work with all of it.
And we have so many. We have yin and yang system. We have Qi and Bra system. We have 5 element systems. So that's why it makes the Chinese medicine so complex but exciting, because like one problem you can solve in different kinds of ways. And you have different kind of theory, then can explain why. But those different systems, they are like supporting each other's. And we can look into our body then to understand how this system works. And when we look outside to look into the universe, look into the world, just like look at our body. The universe is inside us.
Wow.
Cool.
That's awesome. Well, I feel so grateful just to have the opportunity to be in your presence and like just be in conversation. I know that we just have such a good time sharing ideas and talking, and so thank you for that.
Thank you.
This is fun.